All right, well, listen,
All right,
thank you
great.
very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to estockoptiontrading.com's 10 Great Myths about Options Trading. All right, first of all, I just want to welcome you all, and a very special thanks to the folks over at Investor Inspiration for giving us this opportunity. You know, in this day and age, with technology being what it is, this is actually amazing where you can actually assemble in one place like this. And I don't mean to just go on about this, guys, but believe me, it is so appreciated where you can actually assemble and get all this great information for free from 8 or 9 or however many you have at any one time. I mean, it's awesome. Awesome. You can buy this education any other time. But anyway, moving along. So anyway, thank you kindly, guys. My name is Hugh. All right, my name is Hugh. Excuse me, I'm just getting my first cup of coffee this morning here. A little bit about me here as we move on here. I used to be an internal auditor. I mean, nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to be an options trader when I grow up, right? Go through school, get a career, and things just kind of happen. Life happens, right? My career path was as an internal auditor for actually an insurance company, major insurance company. I traveled all around the world, and U.S. and Canada. That was pretty well the extent of my travels for the insurance company. Of course, I've been elsewhere personally, but and like so many people, I went through school, got my degree, and got my career going, and then of course I would put my money in for my retirement savings, expecting down the road that I was going to have this really nice nest egg, and things are going to be really nice and golden at the end of it all. And unfortunately, and ironically enough, you'd think as an internal auditor, I'd be really astute to to tracking this thing, but I guess, like they say, the dentist's kids got the worst teeth, or whatever that saying is. And I neglected to open up those envelopes that they used to send me every now and then. But one day I thought I better open this up and see, I'll be pleasantly surprised, right? How much money I've got. Well, I was shocked actually as to how little I had. So I ended up calling up my financial guru, and we had some words, most of which I cannot repeat now. Okay, but he lost most of it, as did many. I don't want to isolate him, but I thought that he, as the professional, should have been on top of things and had my interests in mind. But as it turned out, he didn't. What can I do? I promptly fired him. I told him, I said, listen, I want you to just figure out what I have left, cut me a check, I'm going to be by tomorrow to pick it up. I don't want to hear your crap anymore. I was very blunt. There's a lot of words that went back and forth, but I fired him. And that's when I realized that I can learn how to do this myself, because number one, absolutely nobody should be more interested in my money than me, and that goes for everybody. All right? You should be the most interested in your money. Nobody else cares, really. At the end of the day, nobody cares about you. I don't mean to be so blunt about it, but that is the actual truth. Also, too, with the power of the Internet, now we actually have that power at our fingertips, literally, to find out all the information we need to make educated, decisions that will benefit us in the future, or at least determine our destiny, our own destiny. So I learned how to do this myself. Now, I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. I always took away a lesson, and the rest is history. I took a lot of courses. I took all those courses out there. I'm sure I've probably seen many of you in some of these courses. And I've got hundreds of hours of DVDs I still have to watch, and many hours of audio, and but I threw most of the stuff out, most of it unopened, even though I spent many thousands of dollars. I had come to realize that you don't really need all that stuff. Even my wife said, well, why are you throwing that stuff out if you haven't watched it? I said to her, well, it's kind of like when you lose your car keys, right? And after you find them, you stop looking. And, well, I kind of found it. So I don't need to know all that other stuff that they had sold me, even though that was the cost of me getting to this point. But I had realized that doing certain key things in the market is going to generate me some pretty decent money. And I was very ecstatic to find out that just how lucrative this can be. Now, making money in the market, believe it or not, is not that difficult if you know how. All right, most people lose their money. Most people's accounts transition from their bank account to their trading account. That's what they do. When they run out of money in their trading account, they take more from their bank account into their trading account. Well, we think that it should be the other way around, and that's kind of the way I do it. I take money from my trading account, transfer it to my bank account, and I do that every now and then, and it really feels kind of good. Okay, but let's talk about myths, because and I know there are a lot of people on who are new to this. All right, we have actually people from all sort of walks of life, all experience levels. So I don't want to get too technical with things. with things where I'm sort of losing anybody here.
Hi, Hugh. Can you hear me okay, bud?
Okay, we had a little bit of a break in the audio there, but you can hear me now, okay, right? Is this okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can hear
okay,
you.
good, sorry. I was just saying here, I talk to a lot of people, obviously in my line of business here, and I hear the same comments coming up time and time and time again. So if we can dispel some of these myths, then at least we're that much further ahead. Number one, I get this a lot. We're selling, actually, this is number 10. We're going to start going from the top down here. Selling options. This is the most profitable strategy because 90% of options expire worthless. Now, this is something that pops up every now and then, and I don't know where some of these numbers come from, but the fact is, according to the Options Industry Council, this is simply not true. As a matter of fact, 12% of options are exercised. 69% are closed prior to expiration, and only 19% expire worthless. So you're going to note that while 88% go unexercised, well, that's different from worthless. You can close your options prior to expiration. Some are profitable, some are not. You can expire worthless, and some are profitable, some are not. Okay, before expiration, you can close a position, you can sell a long position, you can buy back short positions. You can do all these various things to realize profits or cut losses. The important thing here is to ensure that expiring options is actually part of your trading strategy. All right? So incorporate that and make sure that that is something that you are aware of and you understand how that is going to work with your trading strategy. Always understand that risk versus reward in this business, because one thing you don't want to do is stumble across, well, I got lucky, right? And my options expired worthless, so I actually kind of got lucky. I say this because a friend of mine actually employed a strategy a while back. What exactly did he do? I'm just trying to think of how I think he sold puts with the expectation that the stock was going to go up or something, and he was going to have his, I don't know, his options expire worthless, or whatever it was. And it turned out that he did this on several stocks, and he ended up owning the stock. All right, and he said, well, that's okay because I'll own the stock if it doesn't happen, and he was okay with that. And after 3 or 4 of these events, he realized, well, and guess what? I talked to him after. He said, I'm kind of stuck with these stocks, and now I have to wait until the stock comes back to life. And it may or may not happen. And yes, I have some good stocks, but I don't really know, he's telling me, when Coach is going to come back to life. It could be a few months from now. It could be, it could be a couple of weeks. It could be tomorrow. It could be never. Now, the last I heard, and that was one of the ones that he owned, was Coach. Last I talked to him about this, he'd been sitting on this thing for a good couple of months, and it had not come back to life. So you kind of want, you want to employ this strategy into your strategy, all right? Make sure that this is actually part of it. All right, myth number 9, trading options is a function of greed and shows a lack of control. I hear this a lot too. People say, well, you're just being greedy by trading options. You just want more and more money. You're not happy with a reasonable return on your investment. You're trying to make 20, 30, 50, 80, 100% on every trade. Hey, how about that? Okay. The fact is, you don't always make 80, 90, 100% on every trade. I mean, that's just the reality. But rather than considering that as part of greed, which is not true, okay, options trading actually represents quite the opposite. What you're doing is actually you are controlling, using a rational method, of adding value to your investment portfolio. Now, Tom Sosnoff, formerly of Thinkorswim, the developer of Thinkorswim, and currently with Tasty Trade, came up with that initiative. He is quoted as saying, well, I think, and referring to the 2008-2009 market decline, well, I think that has given the individual investors even more reason to be focused on their ability to trade. These are people that are managing their own capital. They're not complaining that somebody else lost the money for them. They're into it. They do it themselves. This is really important because when you actually employ options as part of your investment portfolio, you are now controlling all right, where your portfolio is going. You're not just at the whim or the mercy of the market. You can actually do things to make this thing happen. All right, so don't rely on somebody else to manage your money. Use options to protect your principal, number one. Number two, earn income, which is actually a very lucrative way of doing it. Most importantly, take control over your money. Quick story here. I talked to somebody several years ago. He was telling me how his father had, oh my gosh, I can't remember now, tens of thousands of Procter & Gamble shares. He had worked for P&G, Procter & Gamble. And one of the, I guess, the benefits packages where you can buy stock very cheaply or whatever the program was. But he had accumulated all this Procter & Gamble stock over the years. And they were living quite comfortably off the dividends, which came out every quarter. And they were okay. But then when I explained to him how he can, you know, write calls on this, cover calls, he learned this strategy very well. Now, there is a strategy with that. It's just not an automatic, right? Okay, you have to be careful about this. But he mastered this covered calls. And suddenly, instead of making a decent income off the dividends, suddenly his father, which this gentleman had brought in with him to learn, he was making like gangbusters with this selling options. Procter & Gamble was a very stable stock. You can almost predict where it's going to go, where it's going to fall to, and it had this beautiful wave to it. And he did very, very well with this, and that's totally managing your own money. So he's very excited about this. So a lot of things you can do with options. Number 8, options trading is only for older, wiser, professional, experienced traders. Well, I don't know if older and wiser is synonymous. I know a lot of older people that, you know, that get a little, you know, a little less wise sometimes, I guess, at certain points. But you hear this a lot. Folks, it too is not true. In fact, right now, options trading is growing as an overall way of trading instruments. It's growing at a phenomenal rate. Now, there are going to be, of course, ups and downs. I think 2013 may have gone down slightly from 2011, 2012, but it is picking up. It is now considered a mainstream. Younger demographics are getting into it. People with lesser investment money are getting into it. I mean, some of these stocks that you buy out there, they're pretty pricey. Not everybody's got many, many thousands of dollars to invest in a Google or an Apple or something. But even starting out with, say, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, you can generate yourself a very lucrative income stream if you do it properly. And so a lot of younger people are getting into this. So there's a lot of interest being generated in this now. Huge advancement in retail trading. It is now a force to be reckoned with. Before, I think it was just, well, you know, these guys are just poking around at this thing, and you know, when the institutions are trading, we're almost like, you know, that little yapping dog, you know, just kind of getting in the way. But right now, the retail trading sector is growing, and it's growing very quickly. It's also facilitated through, of course, technology. We have the best technology, and you know, it's here to stay. Don't think this is a fad. It's not going to go away. I remember when the internet first started many years ago, 20 years ago, or whatever it was, 20, 25, 30 years ago, people said, ah, yeah, it's a passing fancy. It's not going to work. Okay. Well, I just cannot imagine living without it. I put the internet right up there with, you know, oxygen. So it's here now, folks, and it's getting better, and it's getting better all the time. Embrace the technology and profit from it. As you see new developments coming in with technology and things like, for example, penny spreads, 50-cent strike prices, weekly options. I even heard some vicious rumor at one point that they're going to have daily options expirations. Who knows? Who knows where the future is going with it, but it is changing at an alarming rate. Embrace it, all right, and learn to profit from it. Retail traders, believe it or not, have a distinct advantage in being able to trade course instantly. A lot of these institutions, they have their programs in place that they have to balance portfolios and do various things. They don't have quite the flexibility with those huge numbers that they have to deal with as, say, you know, you or I with $5, $10, $20, $50, $100,000 of trading available to us. We can actually decide in a moment's notice that we can take and say, you know what, instead of buying calls, I'm buying puts, just like that, and actually get filled, and off we go, right? And this growth is going to continue, as I mentioned, it's going to continue exponentially. And I don't know. I have no idea where the future holds, what the future holds for where it's going as far as technology goes, but you can be sure that it is changing, and it's changing at an alarming rate. Most traders, okay, as more traders enter, the more liquidity there is also going to be in the market. Don't think that there's competition for your dollars. As a matter of fact, we want to encourage more and more traders. That provides liquidity. That provides us more opportunity to make money in this business here. Myth number 7 here, options trading is risky, and it's only a matter of time before you lose it all. I hear this one all the time too, because what happens is when people come to me, I have two kinds of people who come to me. Number one is the person who lost a lot of money trading options, and then they realize they better get some training, and then or else they're going to lose it all. So they come to me. Or the other person who's actually wise, and they realize that, look, I understand options trading is different from equities. I might be very good at equities or Forex or futures or whatever. I don't really know a whole lot about options, so I'm going to get the training first. Well, that's kind of like the wise person, right? It's just like the smart person knows that a tomato is a fruit, but the wise person knows not to put it in this fruit salad. So, and what happens is this, I talk to these people, and then they sort of disappear. They come back later and say, well, I want to try it again. So, okay, Phil, what happened to you? Well, I talked to my brother-in-law, and he said, run for the hills. You're going to lose all your money. This is what happens a lot. People, they rely on their friends and family for advice rather than the people that perhaps they should be talking to. Just like you wouldn't go to your car mechanic to, again, to get medical advice. Why would you go to your friends and family perhaps who may not know as much about options trading as the person that you should be talking to, and that is somebody who's an expert, a professional, an experienced options trader. Believe it or not, we don't have your bad intentions in mind. We have your good intentions in mind. At least I can speak for myself. So that is not true. The fact of the matter is that it can be very risky. In fact, it is risky. But whether you will lose it all or not is entirely up to you. And you do not have to be a genius to take advantage of the opportunities here. If you are actually knowledgeable and you understand the process of this whole thing, believe it or not, options actually can reduce the risk in trading. And it's all up to you. You have to learn to master these strategies to provide a lucrative income stream and asset protection. Learn before you earn. Okay? Learn before you earn. Myth number 6, this is not a good time to invest in the market with options. I hear this on the street all the time. You know, people stop you at the grocery store or Home Depot or wherever you happen to be and say, well, what are you doing here? Well, I said, well, I'm trading options. Oh, this is not a good time to be in the market. Oh, really? Really? Why? Oh, the market's going down. The market's going up. The market's going sideways. The market's doing this. The market's doing that. It's funny how all these people seem to know these things. And I guess maybe I should listen to them, and then I would not trade. Then I wouldn't make any money. I don't think that's true at all, ladies and gentlemen. Traders make money in either bull or bear markets. As an options trader, you can make money even when the market's going flat. Unlike stock that seek equity growth, you buy stock, you expect it to go up, right? I mean, that's where you make your money. As a stock, unless you're actually, shorting your stock, but it gets a little dangerous and sometimes that way. But really, the fact is that successful options traders, they buy and they sell and they sell and they buy and they go in both directions. It doesn't matter which way they go. They take advantage of both directions when they see these trends develop. It could be short-term, long-term, whatever trends they develop. They recognize their patterns. They get in and they make money. That's how we make money every day, even during the summer. There's a saying that says sell in May and go away. Well, that doesn't really apply to what we do. We day trade stock options. As a matter of fact, we day trade one stock, SPY, SPY, the S&P 500 spiders. That's all we do. That's all we do. We make money. Myth number 5, options trading is difficult to understand. All right. I don't think it's true. Okay. The more you commit to learning, the better trader you will be. It's like anything else in life. All right. If you want to learn something very well, you got to commit to it. You got to do it. You got to get good at it. And the key here is to just stay with it. All right, what we do is we teach you things like money management, because we know, all right, we know, fact of life, you will lose money in options trading. Not all trades are going to be successful. There are going to be times when you are going to have a hit. So, but the object of the exercise, of course, is to have long-term growth in your wealth. But the more you commit to learning, the more you commit to doing the programs that are available to you, simply put, the better trader you will be. When I go back and check my client list and see who are the ones that are really coming to the party all the time and doing very well. They're the ones that are engaging in all our programs for as much as possible. All right? You need not to know everything, by the way, about the stock market. Some programs out there, they teach you all these things. Oh my gosh, I can't believe all the things that you can learn in the stock market. And you go to some of these courses, you'll hear all about put, back spreads, bear split, strike combos, long straddles, cash secures, short puts, a million things about all these butterflies and backward flip. I don't know. All these spreads. You don't need to know all that, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to know is one or two great strategies that work consistently for you. All right? Find a great mentor who will actually figure out and understand your objectives and work with you on this. Master one or two great strategies, and you will have yourself an amazing career in options trading. Myth number 4, options trading is akin to gambling. I'd like to spend a little time on this. It's not true, but it can be. All right. Again, if you are not educated in what we're talking about here, all right, it is gambling, and I'm not going to kid you about it. You might as well, and I tell people this. Listen, if you're going to trade like that, the way you're trading and you're reporting back to me and how you're throwing all this money at the stock market and just expecting the market to go up or down or whichever way you're going, and then it doesn't happen for you, and then you sell. You know, why don't you just take your money down to your local casino and see what you can do, because you'll have more fun doing it, I think, with less stress, you know, and at least it'll be over quick. Okay, I've got this one gentleman. I'm gonna rename him. I'm not gonna call him his real name, because if he happens to be on, he's gonna know who he is. But I'll call him Bill. Okay, Bill was like this. He was in real estate, and he did very, very well, and but he was in real estate at a time when it was very difficult for him. He had to, part of his job was to evict people from their houses, and he really didn't like that. So he wanted to get into options trading, and he heard about us. He came to us, and he really quite discovered how lucrative this business can be. So I think what happened to Bill is he ended up getting a lot more money very quickly. So he became, what do they call this, nouveau rich, you know, just a lot. He seemed to have a lot more money than brains at times. I always wondered about this guy. I used to chastise him all the time. So, oh, hang on, hold your horses there, Bill, not so fast. Because he would start with $10,000, $20,000 on his first few trades. So, okay, whatever. I mean, you know, I have no problem doing that, but maybe he should. I don't know. He's never done this before. And actually, he did quite well. He did quite well. Then he upped it to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $80,000. But then I recognized that he wasn't doing all that well as he would like us to believe at various times, because he would end up losing so much money in various trades. And I would say, why did you do that? I would go back and analyze the trades with him, and it didn't seem to make sense why he suddenly would take a trade, say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for $50,000, and it turned out, well, it's because I had 3 or 4 good trades up until that during the day. So I thought that one more trade will take me up over the top. In my trading account, I have $98,862, right? And you know, and I wanted to get it over that $100,000 mark, and I only needed maybe a couple of $1,000s to do it. So I figured I'll get into another trade, put in huge money, and I don't need it to move a lot in my direction, and I'll just get that couple $1,000 and I'll be over that $100,000 mark in my trading account. So he would just blindly enter a trade with this in mind, and that's all he would look at. Forget the charts, forget the technical indicators or any news or anything that may happen, or anything, but he would look at that trading balance, and he would somehow think that that was going to be the motivation to enter a position. So, oh my gosh, Bill, let's step back a little bit here, because what happened, actually, he did lose something like $45,000, $50,000 in one of these trades, and I felt so bad for the guy. And I said to him, first you got to stop trading, because now you're gambling. What you're doing is nothing short of gambling. All right, and you got in for all the wrong reasons. You got in at the wrong time. You bought this week's expiration that's going to wrap up in an hour. This sucker goes against you. That market maker you're trading against could sit there and say, well, I got a live one on the wire here. I'm going to play this guy, right, and grab his money. So there's a lot of things that can happen to your market, and that's how he ended up losing it. They just expired, and he was, he's going the wrong way with the whole thing. Anyway, he was quite upset about it, but he seemed to have enough money in the background to sort of fund this folly that he had. And he understood the system, but he could not follow rules. So, okay, fine, we have to work on following your rules, because you're going down to the casino when you don't follow the rules. You're going down to the casino when you're willy-nilly getting into these trades. You're going down to the casino when you just when you don't listen to what I tell you like this. I don't want you doing that anymore. So we needed to educate him. We needed for him to learn how to control his emotions. And the idea with options trading is to seek overall growth and wealth. That's the point here. It's a zero. Gambling is a zero-sum game. Options trading is not. All right. It's not like one person wins, the other person loses. You can have a whole series of people trading options and making money. All right, and it could actually extend into a situation where you convert to stock and your stock grows. So it's not a zero-sum game. With gambling, it is a zero-sum game. If you win, somebody else loses. If you lose, somebody's going to win. Probably the house, the casino, or wherever you're going to go with that. So we're not redistributing wealth. We are trying to grow your wealth. That is not gambling. We don't want to gamble. Strive to understand the process of what this is all about. Study the components that make up an option. Learn to dance with the market. Master the emotions of trading. This is what I actually taught Bill. Now, as it turned out, Bill, he understood everything. Theoretically, he was an expert at trading. I mean, the guy could teach the stuff. He knew the stuff like the back of his hand after we took a number of courses. But he had one major problem, and that was he was unable to master the emotions of trading. He wanted me to actually trade his account for him, but I refused because of various reasons, and I just don't do that. I don't want to trade other people's money like that. I just want to teach people this and do my own. So I'm not committed to long-term running these funds. I do well without that. But he could not master his emotions, and what happened was I feel so bad for this guy. Just about come into tears when I hear about this. But he handed over something like $350,000 to a buddy of his. And he told his buddy, look, when this happens, this is what you do. When that happens, that's what you do. Oh, okay, I can do that for you, Bill. No problem. Right? And I believe within about, I don't know, several weeks, it was all gone. It all disappeared. So, and so did Bill. So I don't know what Bill's doing now. Last I heard, he got back to real estate. And last also I heard his wife was not too happy. So always keep in mind, folks, when you're trading, happy wife, happy life. Okay? If you don't have that support, don't do it. Just stay away. It's not worth the struggle. Study the components. Many components that make up trading options. Okay, you're not just throwing money at things. There are a lot of things that make this up. And once you learn how to dance with the market, you can make money. Okay. Option number. I keep thinking of options. Myth number 3: options trading should only be handled by the pros. Once again, not true, folks. In fact. This comes from a long time ago when options was, I guess, probably sort of more mystical. It was new. It was something that that we sort of learned. Oh well, you should only trade equities because leave the trading for the pros. Leave the trading for the pros. Options trading. Bygone product, bygone era. All right, long before user-friendly trading platforms existed. Today, the new generations of trading platforms out there are phenomenal. They are easy to use for the most part. Once you master them, okay, they are intuitive, they are sophisticated, and they provide tools, many tools that you can learn. Whatever your strategy is, you can employ these tools. They give you your answers instantly. You don't have to pull out graphs and start charting things manually. None of that stuff. Okay, it's all there. And it gives you intelligent guidance gives you intelligence through that maze of options trading, which is what it is. Not all options are the same. That's why you're given a chain. They're all different. They're for different strategies. So really just learn this, and then you just have to click and trade. It is just that that easy. Okay, but you have to master this stuff first. Myth number 2. Another myth, and I hear this a lot too, well, I have to, I have to spend many, many thousands of dollars. Learning options trading is very costly if you want to be successful. Again, I went through that years ago. Oh my gosh, the courses, I took course after course after course. I was trading with a friend of mine and actually several friends. Well, let's go to this course. Okay, fine. Well, it's $5,000. That's fine. Well, he's going to be doing live trading in Florida. Okay, fine. Let's go down to Florida. Let's do this. Let's do that. You get down there. It turns out the guy just does nothing but sets up, the trading platform so that for everybody's laptop or something. No live trading. Well, that was a waste. Well, what did we learn out of this? Well, we learned spreads. We learned this. We learned that. Look you don't have to know everything about the stock market to make money if you want to be successful. As a matter of fact, I'm probably, of everybody online here, I myself am probably the one that's the least knowledgeable of the many, many, many trading strategies out there, only because I don't do them. I have found one or two strategies that just so excel with what I want to do. I work about an hour a day, and I make 5 to 10% a day. What more do you want? Is that not enjoyable? This way I can go and enjoy my life. That's simply not true. Okay. The fact of the matter is you can't spend all that money, and most of these courses they're going to try and upsell you. Oh, you want to learn about that? Yeah, we've got that program that's coming up next month in San Francisco. It's $39.95, but if you buy it now, it's only $24.95. So we all parade to the back of the room with our credit cards in hand. Sign up for that course next month in San Francisco. Look, number one, you have to find a great mentor, not a good mentor, a great mentor with your interests in mind. Never mind what what he or she is going to tell you. I mean, obviously, you're going to learn, sort of learn what they're doing, and if it fits, if there's a good fit, go with it. And then commit, all right? Commit. Engage fully. Learn all that you can, all right? And if you don't understand something, by all means, ask. Ask. The mentor should have you in mind, not the other way around. Myth number one leads to this. It's nearly impossible to find a great mentor. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, listen, I have taken this course and that course and all of these courses, and I just can't seem to get this. I've talked to people, and all they're doing is telling me how great they are, and then a couple months later they disappear. They have my money. I don't know anything about trading. I lost all my money. The list goes on and on and on. That is not necessarily true either, that it is impossible to find a great mentor. All right. I'm not saying I am. Actually, I am, but I'm just telling you that because people tell me, and I think I'm pretty good. I think I got a good retention rate. People like me. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about me. What I'm here to talk about is you find somebody who really clicks with you, who understands you, all right, and your program, what it is that you want to do. You have to understand the importance of finding a great mentor. Okay, and I've learned this the hard way. And when I've gone through all the mentorship and all the courses and stuff like that, I tried to take the best from everything that I'd learned, and I tried to dismiss all the stuff that's really not good. So I try to really keep in mind, you know what, I was in your shoes one time. I was in your position. I had to learn this stuff, and if I can just make life a little bit easier for those coming up behind me so that they can become great traders, I am so excited and rewarded by that alone. So if you do not find a great mentor, keep searching, because there are a lot of mentors out there. And I'm not just saying I am the only one. I'm not. But there are a lot of great mentors. Find the strategies that work for you. Ask a lot of questions. Talk to them. You know what? If they don't want to talk to you, then you don't want them, because you want them to be accessible. You want them to answer your questions. You want to get cozy with your coach because they're out there. I'm reminded real quick about, I like to fly airplanes, just a private pilot. I'm not a commercial. I was not in the Air Force, none of that stuff. But you know what? I like to fly airplanes, and along with me, there were 2 or 3 other guys that were sort of learning around the same time. We sort of got into this together, but there were 2 different instructors, and I guess I lucked out because I had a very empathetic instructor who was very patient with me, and he understood where I was going with things. And the other instructor, who the other 2 guys had, all right, he was arrogant. He just wasn't very good. He wasn't a people person, okay? And what happened was the other 2 never finished the course. They never got their licenses. And later on, I'd hook up with them for some drinks someplace, and we talked about that. I said, hey, Jack, what happened? I said, well, I just didn't hit it off with my instructor. He'd laugh at me. What do you mean laugh at you? Oh yeah, yeah, and I do something stupid and you just start laughing. So, well, what kind of instructor is that? What, has he never made any mistakes or something, or what? So he kind of felt a little, insulted by that. He was too old to go through that crap, he said to me, So you want to find somebody who's actually really good. So they are out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here. Mentorship, it's pivotal. It's absolutely pivotal in your trading career. It's going to either make you or break you. If you have a great mentor who's going to be with you even after you learn, who's going to stay with you right to the, right all the way through, that's what you want, okay? Talk to your potential coaches. When you find somebody that you're kind of interested in, a strategy or somebody who you like, email them, contact them, talk to them. And whatever the price is that they're asking for, don't dicker with the price. A coach is a personal person who is going to be, involved with you. And if you nickel and dime them down, they're not going to be very, keen on wanting to, be your coach. Okay, their prices are probably very, very good in their minds. They're probably worth it. Now, if it's obviously too much, you have to say to yourself, "Listen, I can't afford you. You must be good." But let the market decide where that level is, because they're going to want business. They're not going to want too much business that they can't handle. Anyway, whatever it is, if you're happy with it, pay it. Accept the fact you're going to have to pay for an education. You don't go to college expect it to be free, right? Then pay attention. When they tell you things, pay attention. And if you don't understand something, then ask, all right? There's no such thing as a stupid question when it comes to options trading. I remember a couple of years ago, I had this one gentleman who's actually a professor at a university in South Carolina, and we started talking about, we did some training sessions together, and trying to get an idea as to his level of experience. I said, so have you traded options before? Oh, yeah, I'm good with options. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Okay, sure. I've been trading options for a couple of years. Okay, fine. And it was so funny. About 20 minutes into the conversation, he said to me, Hugh, can you just tell me again the difference between puts and calls? Folks, I'm not speechless very often, but this guy just kind of floored me with that question. Then I realized he really didn't. He was trying to just, cover for me and tell me what he thought I wanted to hear. I said, well, let's back up. You don't know what puts and calls are? Well, no, not really. I forgot. Oh, okay. Well, then I realized I have to go way back, way back. He didn't really know. Okay. So if you don't know, admit it. There's no shame in not knowing. Who would know? Why would you know this stuff? I mean, this is very unique, very specialized material, right? All right, reap the rewards, because you will know that when you are a successful options trader and you are making money and time again, like clockwork, you have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Take the money and take it regularly from your trading account, flip it over to your bank account, go and enjoy the profits. You've earned it. You have earned it. And there's no better feeling than spending money that you have earned. I just had the pleasure of one of my friends. He got into he bought a new Tesla with the money he made on trading options. Folks, we mentor traders. We mentor traders. And don't ask us, ask the people here at ProTradingProfits.com. They consistently rank us #1 in annual rank results and also performance rank results. The latest poll I see on this one here, they still put us here at the top spot. I don't know what all these numbers mean, quite frankly. I'm not really keen on all these numbers. I don't follow this, but somebody told me that, hey, you're #1. So whatever they are, check it out, ProTradingProfits.com. And also in performance rank results, we are #1 in options for trading for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We probably hold that position right there. Look, I'm going to invite each and every one of you to a personal one-on-one session to discuss how we can help you with your trading. All you have to do is email me and we will set it up. Generally available between 1 p.m. and midnight every day, Eastern Time. We also have live trading with the pros every Tuesday and Thursday, 9:20 to 11 Eastern Time. These are really cool sessions. You actually get right in there with the pros, 3 pro traders, as we discuss what we are going to trade. And we actually execute real trades using our real dollars. Now, group training. We actually have a session, we call them WOW weekends, Wild Weekend of Webinars. This here is, I'm going to show you right here on our website, right here. Go to estockoptiontrading.com under products and services, scroll down to learn to trade, September 26th, 27th, and 28th. we are going to provide 5 2-hour recorded. These are actually, they're going to be live sessions. They are going to be recorded and available for you, all right, at the for another 3 months afterwards. Only $149 each. You will learn how to trade. If you've never traded anything in your life, that's where you want to be. Check it out on the website, Beginners to Advanced. That's where you're going to really pick up a lot of great information. We also have private mentoring. Again, contact me for details there. Ebooks, we've got some really cool ebooks once again on the website, and that is going to be right here under products and services. The first one, ebooks. Scroll down. These are concise, topical, current, and informative, easy to follow. They're not going to bore you with this, okay? Folks, email support if you have any quick questions. We are available right there. Email us, all right? We teach you how to day trade stock options quickly, consistently, and confidently, all right? And that's what we do, estockoptiontrading.com. Now, before I forget, I am going to give you, each and every one of you, but all you have to do is this. I'm going to give you an ebook, How I Made, Hugh, that's me, How I Made $250,000 in 1 month. And this is very easy to get. All you have to do, folks, is go onto our website, estockoptiontrading.com, homepage. Right here at the very top, we have an Investor Inspiration Special. Normally, I charge $29 for this book, but I'm going to give this to you absolutely free. And this is going to be, all you have to do is just give us your email address, and we will send this out to you, okay? And yes, you will get on a list, but if you don't want to be on the list, simply just unsubscribe. We do respect your privacy and your consideration with this whole thing. So that said, I really want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here, and I really hope that you got something out of this. And as a matter of fact, I really encourage you to stay on track for the other webinars here this afternoon, because they are going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So, folks, anyway, thank you very much for joining us, folks. It's really been a pleasure. Once again, my name is Hugh, estockoptiontrading.com.